In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the desktop version of Inspiration. So on the desktop, it's called Inspiration. On the iPad, it's called Inspiration Maps. But it's the same application with the same concepts behind it, which is organizing information, throwing information on a page, organizing it in a way that you can then create an outline so that you can then do a presentation or writing or whatever you need to do in school. So under Inspiration, under File New, I've created a new file. This is our main idea. And very similar to the iPad app, if I want to create a subtopic, I just come up here under Create. I just hit the button, and then this is my intro, and whoops. Just delete that, come back up here, highlight, bring that down so that my link comes out right. And this is point number 1, point 1. Point 2, and so forth. Now I can interconnect these ideas by simply coming up here and doing the link button, and I can interconnect them. I can also label them. I can drag and drop photos. I can bring in graphics. One of the advantages of using a mouse is I can do this rather quickly here. And then also on the desktop version, there's a lot more in terms of templates. So this is literature and arts, book comparison. So let's just launch up that one as an example. So this gives you, oops, I'm running two screens here. So we'll bring that over. This gives you a template for book comparison. So you've got similarities and differences, and you can just type in. So it's a great way of organizing your information, and then you just click the outline button here, and boom, you've got your outline again. So that is, let me show you the one up here. This is the outline of the little test one that we did, so very similar to the iPad. Intro, point 1, 2, and 3. Now let me show you a couple of ones that I did that are a lot more elaborate. So this is an interview that I conducted, and here's my interview paper. This was the question I was trying to ask. Then I have all of these various stories that the user told in ideas. So my ideas are in blue, my dates and facts, and then over here what I've actually done is I've actually taken quotes of the interview, made them in orange or tan, whatever you want to call this color, and then that's the actual interview. So that when I go to create my outline, and this is going to be a very messy outline, you can see I actually have all of my quotes right within my document, so that I could basically just copy and paste this. You just export out as text. I can export a PDF file. I can also export as text. You can see here, I can export as a Word, plain text is what I usually do, and then export that into my writing tool. Now let me show you another paper. This paper, Inspiration Maps, or Inspiration, really was a godsend for me, because what happened was, this was a data, let me zoom in here real quick. So this was a data analysis program, and so I did the data analysis and the mapping in a different program, and I took screenshots of everything and then copied and pasted them in here, and then I could write notes. So let's say, so right here, this is a percentage of disabled people without coverage. So people with disabilities, the percentage without coverage. So like in states like Wisconsin here, less than 11% were covered, but in states like Texas, almost 25% of people with disabilities had no insurance coverage. So I made my notes around that, and so that basically I could throw all this data on a page, sort of organize how I wanted to see it, and you can see here what I've done is what is the relationship between disability and insurance. And here is what is the relationship between disability and poverty. And so I could organize everything into these big massive buckets and then just tie everything together to write my paper. So this is a really good example. Again, this is a really good example of both playing with data and getting your ideas organized before you start writing. Now, basically, I had my entire paper written and I just needed to add words to it to make it a nice flowing paper. So Inspiration Maps helps me get organized. It allows me to work through my process, which is throw everything on a page and sort through it and get it all organized in a visual, organized way that I can then put in an outline, and I can export it out and bring it into my writing program.